Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is Tashprita Gupta, your SBR and FR and Triple A mentor. So this video is specific for all the strategic business reporting students because guess what? I am bringing up a student who was like in my batch who studied with me in the paid course, that to the regular one, and she has scored a phenomenal score of 87 marks. So she's none other than Sumedha, and I'm literally proud of her. I'm expecting a world rank. Let's see what happens. But this is just phenomenal. It's just away from our imagination too. So I'm here to, interview her and ask her what were her tips and tricks, what strategies did she apply, and what were the things that she made sure were there in her preparation, which has landed her in this, A7 ream. So without any further ado, let's bring her up and let's call her in the interview session. So, hi, Sumedha. I am very glad to have you here. And I've already given your brief introduction about your score. And she's already been a world ranker for FM. So, I would link her LinkedIn profile in the description box if somebody wants to reach out to her. So, can you just give your brief introduction from your own words as well?
Thank you, ma'am. I am Sumetha Guha. Right now, I'm pursuing my BCom degree. I'm in my third year, and I have completed 10 ACCA papers, including SBR. I gave SBR in the March attempt, and I scored 87. And apart from that, I have six exemptions because I'm pursuing it from symbiosis. So I gave my audit paper, I gave my FM paper, and my FR paper. So for FM, I got world rank 1, and for FR even, I was world rank 8. And right now, my goal is to complete all my papers by March next year.
That's awesome. I'm sure you will achieve that. And like you said, you've got exemptions. So did you find, even though your score doesn't say so, but did you find any difficulty as such in understanding the basics with six exemptions? Like, did you put extra hard work into FR, I would say, because if you've done FR, you can give SBR. But in FR, did you face any difficulty?
The thing is, even if we got exemptions, we studied those subjects in college. So college tested us on those subjects. It's the difference is just we didn't have to give it. Didn't have to give the ACCA paper, but we gave the same paper in our college. So I knew the basics of everything. I knew every paper.
That's great.
I didn't face any such difficulty while studying.
That's great. So that speaks loud about the college as well, I would say. Congratulations to them as well that they've created such star achievers. Now I would ask you that what was your strategy of preparation? Like we all know SBR is a paper which has a lot of you can say rules attached to it, where every time the information slips out of our hands. So it's like you forget what you did last week, and then you have to do the newer thing. So how did you manage that, and what was your like blueprint of your preparation?
I would say for every ACCA paper, this I did. I studied the study text properly. Like I understood the concepts properly, and then I moved on to the exam kit. Many people they just move on to the exam kit without going through the study text thoroughly. But if you do that, you do not have a proper basis to build up the answers from. So I went through the study text, and for SBR, there are like many accounting standards, many accounting treatment to remember. So what I did, I used to prepare pointers for every one of the accounting standards. And I used to write just the key points, the accounting treatment, so that I don't forget them. Especially for financial instruments, I found that really hard to remember. There are so many accounting treatments. I had to study that one really nicely. And that's what I did. I just prepared brief notes, and even your notes I found really helpful. The revision for revision. I revised that, like I went through that twice for revision. Yeah, I felt that that summarized everything.
That's great. That's great. So, like I usually suggest my students that first you go through the lecture, then you do the TYUs, and then you move to the kit. So your blueprint was that you directly did your study text and then move to the kit, right?
I also did the TYUs along with the study text, and then I moved on to the exam kit.
Yeah. So what do you think about TYUs? Are they somewhat helpful in the preparation, or it's like you can skip them too?
I think they're definitely helpful because as you're learning the concept, you're also learning how to apply it. So if you don't do the TYUs, you might face some difficulty in actually applying the concept while solving the exam kit.
Correct, correct. And then when we start with the kid, Sumedha, one student always faces this problem that it's totally different. It feels like you're coming to a newer world, and you're not able to adapt to that case study. For that, we use the drafting classes which we used to have. But what was your strategy to actually be adapting to the exam kit, especially in SBR, because we have a lot of application skills which are to be used in SBR.
I would say even I found it really difficult to solve the exam kit questions at first because what we studied, it was very difficult from what we had to write. And for that, I went through your videos, the exam kit questions which you solved. I went through that and I followed that logic of yours, 1.1 marks. So that's what I followed. Obviously, at first, my answers were really not good. But then I kind of developed my answer system. I have this particular format which I use. So first of all, I would introduce the topic, write the problem, and then I would introduce the standard, like the definition as per the standard. And then I would apply the standard to the particular accounting scenario. And then at last, I would conclude that. That is what I found really helpful.
Right. So were you writing your answers in bullet points or was it in a paragraph format with headings?
No, I would used to write it in like small, very small paragraphs, like one line paragraphs. Bullet points I used because writing in long paragraphs, it doesn't seem as much. And I heard that it also makes it difficult for the examiner to mark each point.
Yeah, exactly. So you followed that approach of 1 mark, 1 point,
So,
and you made it systematic by giving an introduction, means background of the case study, then stating the standard, and then applying the standard, and then concluding. That's great. Like all the students are listening to, that's what you have to do exactly. Okay. Then what about the assignments, mocks? What do you think? Like, do they play an important role? What was your strategy towards that? Since you are in a college also, so how did you manage your week? Like, how did you manage your targets? Were you following a plan or were you doing like just like that?
for SBR, I didn't have much, clash with my college because I studied for SBR mainly while I was on my summer vacation. So I completed all of my studies in like 1.5 months after my semester exams. So I wouldn't say I had any issues like time management issues during that period. And I think mocks are definitely very important for SBR. One of the most key challenges I faced was managing time. Like most of the time, I cannot complete the entire four questions within 205 minutes. It's not enough. So mocks definitely help to manage that time and you get to know how much time to allocate to each question.
Right. And what was your strategy to like, were you following a plan for the SBR paper, weekly plan, or was it like you were just doing haphazardly?
I had I had a plan, but it was kind of vague. So I think I finished my study text in 15 to 20 days, and after that I finished my exam kit in 20 days. And after that I started practicing mocks, and then like you gave the mock, practiced that, and yeah, after that I revised the entire syllabus once again, and after that I gave the test.
Right. So, did you attend our Super 20 classes which were held live, or were you watching the recordings? Like, I don't remember exactly. I've seen the name in the classes, but maybe you were a silent spectator.
I have only watched the recordings. I didn't. I used to watch the recordings at night, like before going to bed, so that it remains in my head. I
Okay,
didn't
that's also a
expect it
great
to be live.
strategy. Like, you can double the speed of the recordings rather than watching it live.
Correct.
So what was it? 1.5 or two times the speed?
It was 1.75.
Oh God, I need to speak fast. Fine. Okay. So, apart from that, what would you like to tell the students regarding this paper? Like, there is a lot of fear because some students failed at 49, 47, 48. What would you suggest to them? Like, you're getting an 87 and they're not able to manage a 50. So, what do you think, if you were the tutor, what do you think is the lack?
I think the main problem is understanding of concepts is very essential. Like unless and until you understand a particular concept, you won't be able to solve a problem. Especially for SBR, when you read one question, some questions are so tricky, you won't be able to understand which accounting standard it relates to. So understanding of concepts is very essential. Practice is very essential, and then the formatting aspect is also very essential.
True that. So it is about that. like how many questions did you type and practice?
I typed and practiced every single one of the exam kit questions. I
Okay.
practiced plan exam kit questions, and then I also practiced VPP exam kit questions. I typed all of them.
Okay. So the ones which were there on the portal, first you watched them and then you type them, like
First, I
initially.
solved the question, and then I watched the video so that I can understand where I went wrong.
Okay, that's great. That's a great strategy for everyone. So if we have our Super 20 live classes, you can already pre-practice it if you are in advance with your studies. So that's great. I'm hearing it for the first time, but I'm also hearing 87 for the first time. So that is something great. Both the kids. Fine. Did you use ACCA Study Hub?
Yeah, I used to. That's where I typed it in because
Yes.
Word file and the ACCA study platform is very different. So I used to use the ACCA study platform for typing.
No, the ACCA Study Hub where we have
The
those.
hub. I don't think I used it much. I only used it for the concepts and some questions I went through, but mostly I just focused on the exam kit.
Okay, that's great. So you've used CV platform, so that's also a great tip for everyone that we have a blank workspace there, no? So you can practice it using that. Sure. And what else, like, would you like to suggest to the students? And how did the course help you? Did the course help you for 87 marks or not? And for any student who's attempting their exam in September, your last word of advice for them.
I would say TG professionals really helped me achieve this goal because, as I said, concept is very essential. And your videos, they really helped me put into perspective. Like even complex subjects, I was able to understand simply just using real life examples. You use a lot of real life examples. That was really helpful. And if you understand the concept, then everything becomes much easier. It's not very easy, but it becomes easier than before. And of course, you have to practice. And for that, I went through your videos as well. It taught me how to structure my answers properly. And I would say be consistent in study. Have a consistent study plan. And yeah, you will be able to achieve, you will be able to pass.
Exactly. So that's the most important thing, self-discipline is most difficult for many people because they are led by their emotions. So if you feel like I don't want to study today, and then you just leave that part. And that's why I say always follow weekly plans. So Sumedha is a brilliant person. She had her own plan and she was following it. But the students who are not able to stick to the plan, get a plan for yourself. Like I do give 45 days planner and all that. So stick to that so that you can, I think you covered it in advance, no? According to my plan, it was almost 1.5 months for the exam, sorry, the study text, and then it was the kit. But you did it way in advance, 15 days, and then because you solely relied on the recordings, correct?
Hmm.
Yeah,
And also one more thing is I see a lot of people leaving subjects, leaving topics because they are not important. And I don't think that is a very wise thing because you only have 4 questions to attempt. So even if one question is of a particular topic, you will lose out on 20-25 marks.
exactly. And especially in a paper like SPR, there is no predictability. Like even if I talk about, since you've given FM, even if I talk about AFM, still we know that the question number one is from the investment appraisal, But in SBR, even if the question number one is from group accounts, it will still have subparts. Only the pre-populated spreadsheet is coming from the group accounts, but still a lot of standards are there within it. So you never know which one comes up. Like I always used to tell you, IFRS 8 came up for 25 marks, and then people were like, oh, this was a small standard. So that is something that you have to take care of. That's a very good advice. And I think that's it, Sumedha. So I'll just put your LinkedIn profile link on in the description so that students can connect to you. I hope you don't have a problem with that.
Yeah, of course. Anybody can reach out anytime.
Sure. Thank you so much, Sumedha. It was a great session with you. And once again, congratulations from my behalf and from the viewers' behalf as well. So, all those who are watching, please drop down a congratulations for her. I mean, 87 is phenomenal. This is historically the greatest score in SBR till date. I got a 94 in FR, a student, but for my batches in SBR, 87 is the highest. So, you've made an historic achievement, at least for me. So, yeah,
Thank you so
thank
much for
you.
your time. Thank you for having me here.
Thank you. Thank you, Sumedha. Have a great evening. Yeah.
Thank you.
Bye bye.